captain of Liverpool and the captain of Borussia Dortmund, Kale and Steven Gerrard, all set to go here as Liverpool complete their pre-season preparations against one of the European powerhouses. And our commentary team today at Anfield, it's Gary McAllister and first Ian Dark.
Thank you very much indeed, Paul. A new season then at Anfield, so close to the title, weren't they, last season? 2 points away. Can Liverpool go one better without Luis Suarez's goals this time around? That's the big question. This is a glamour game against Borussia Dortmund, and they're kind of soul brothers, aren't they, really, these two clubs? Because the Dortmund fans, all 80,000 of them, sing "You'll Never Walk Alone" at Masood Tribune.
Yeah, and they've got a fantastic, very, very similar, both corps that they have. They love to sing the songs, the flags and the banners and the scarves. Very passionate support from both teams.
And the players will walk out to an Anfield sellout. Liverpool coming home from their United States tour and wondering what this new season will bring. The last one, though it ended in disappointment, was in many ways a breakthrough year for Liverpool, with 101 Premier League goals and just 2 points behind champions Manchester City. So let's check on the two sides for you and confirm them. Liverpool, including new signings, Dejan Lovren, Javier Manquillo and Emre Can. Lovren, the £20 million defender from Southampton, only started training with the team on Friday. Daniel Sturridge is fit again after missing the American match against Manchester United the other day. He's one of 5 of England's World Cup squad on duty here. It looks pretty close to Liverpool's first choice side of those currently available. As for Borussia Dortmund, well, the Champions League finalists 15 months ago include that superb playmaker that Liverpool chased hard last year, Henrik Mkhitaryan. He scored 7 pre-season goals already, and the prolific Gabon striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is there as well. He's in hot form. Anfield target Marco Reus still not fit after agonizingly missing the World Cup, and Hummels and Błaszczykowski are not ready yet either.
The shapes today, Liverpool will be 4-3-3. Steven Gerrard will sit in front of the back 4, allowing the 5 in front just to be very fluent, interchanging positions. Borussia Dortmund, on the other hand, they'll go with 2 holding midfields. Kirsten Kiel will sit, allowing Mkhitaryan, Aubameyang and Djordjic to go and support the lone striker Ramos.
And Borussia Dortmund will have one eye on a big match against Bayern Munich in the German Super Cup in 3 days' time in Dortmund. These are the friendly substitutes here. Ricky Lambert will have to wait a little longer to wear a Liverpool shirt at Anfield for the very first time. He'll want a goal today when he does come on. I'm sure we'll see him later. Subotic is fit again for Borussia Dortmund, and there is number 9. Look at Ciro Immobile, the top scorer in Serie A last season with Torino. A big money buy at £15 million. He's on the bench.
Yeah, Immobile, he's got to replace Lewandowski, and there they are. Fantastic.
And the Dortmund fans know the song. They're joining in with it too. Lovely touch from the Dortmund fans. By the way, 90,000, I'll repeat that, 90,000 turned up yesterday in Dortmund for a fans' day with the players.
They've got a phenomenal stadium, fantastic fans. It's a great place to play in Dortmund.
As you well know, Gary, hero there for Liverpool.
Great night.
Against Alaves a few years back. Famous night. 5-4, wasn't it?
5-4, golden goal. I'll never forget it.
And why would you? So Dortmund in their famous yellow and black kit getting us underway here. The final tune-up for Liverpool before they start Premier League action against Southampton next Sunday. Interesting to see how the new boys settle in, and many of them on the ball straight away. They're given an early touch. Manquillo, the fullback who's arrived this week. Skirtle. Watch for Mkhitaryan, by the way, for Borussia Dortmund. I know Brendan Rodgers was very, very keen.
Big fan of him, yeah. They've been looking at this guy for a long, long time. Very influential, very pleasing on the eye. Mkhitaryan, smashing footballer.
Dortmund have been full of goals as well in pre-season, albeit against lower league sides. They did beat the Italians, Chievo Verona, as well. Goes a long way. Ginter come up from the back, the new signing.
Yeah, both clubs' pre-seasons have been very different. You know, Dortmund have played against lower division clubs. Liverpool's pre-season has been against high-profile clubs in a very demanding tour of the USA. Interesting figure, Klopp.
He really is. Football is best served piping hot, dynamic and dramatic. He said, I can't coach the Arsenal and Barcelona way.
I'm a big fan of his style, Klopp.
Liverpool could be adding to their signings too in the next few days. Alberto Moreno, the left back, due to sign from Sevilla, probably play his last game for them on Tuesday in Cardiff against Real Madrid in the Super Cup. This is long here for Sterling.
Nice sweeping attack there by Liverpool. Steven Gerrard trying to dominate from deep, as we've seen last season.
Sturridge back to Emre Can. Yeah, Brendan Rodgers sees this as a quite significant final dress rehearsal for the real business that lies just ahead now. Heading towards Glenn Johnson and cut out by Piszczek, and here's the very quick Aubameyang. Not the best ball from him though.
No, it's a poor ball in, but it's a big feature of his game. He is lightning quick, Aubameyang, on this right-hand side.
Of course, we go on about Luis Suarez leaving Liverpool. They've lost Robert Lewandowski, the top scorer in the Bundesliga.
Oh, he's a smashing player, and he'll score bucket loads at Bayern.
Jojic, the Serbian. Not too much support. He felt like he wanted to go along. Kirsch had the shot in the end.
Kirsch just following up play there, supporting from the middle of the park.
Dortmund did finish 19 points behind Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga last season. They were a distant second, runners-up for the second year running, having won the championship a couple of times before that.
Yeah, they'll be looking to improve on that. You know, just looking through their squad, it's a strong squad, Borussia Dortmund, and they'll want to challenge the München more than they did last season.
Henderson on towards Coutinho, lovely little turn from him, and here's Sterling. It's a great move so far, doesn't quite pay off with a goal. It's a good save in the end by the Australian goalkeeper Mitchell Langerak.
No, this is real typical Liverpool. Lovely, magnificent little turn here by Coutinho, and they're Sterling away. It's wonderful pass, times he's run beautifully. That's a good save by Langerak. But again, pleasing in the eye, Liverpool. When they start flowing, they're very, very impressive.
Lovely touch again from Coutinho, and then Henderson trying to chip the goalkeeper. Fast, slick start from Liverpool.
Yeah, this is what the Liverpool fans love to see. They really enjoyed the performance level last season. And it's so quick, incisive, one-touch passing. Really difficult for Dortmund to defend against.
The Dortmund defence without Mats Hummels today, still recovering from his exertions at the World Cup. He is back in training again, but not ready to play just yet.
He was linked with both this morning, Ian. I think he was linked with Manchester United and Arsenal.
And he's been linked with a lot of people after a very good World Cup. Of course, poor old Marco Reus, a big Dortmund star, missed the World Cup, getting injured a week before the tournament against Armenia. What agony.
Oh, really felt for the guy. I think of all the outstanding young German players, Royce for me is the Rolls Royce. Oh, Götze, Müller. Royce is the one for me.
Told he will be, or they hope he will be, ready for the start of the Bundesliga in a couple of weeks' time. Glenn Johnson playing in the left-back position as he can, of course. And Moreno will be arriving. There'll be plenty of competition at the back for Liverpool. They do need to improve the goals against column. 50 last year was too many. No teams won the Premier League conceding that many, but they're scoring loads.
Need the numbers, you know, both full-backs getting high up the pitch. Kilo on the right side, Johnson on this left side.
We heard Brendan Rodgers before the game telling me that increased numbers in the squad was a big aim for Liverpool during the summer. Some people have made comparisons with Tottenham last year, losing Gareth Bale and bringing in a lot of new players and not doing particularly well. But they brought in a lot of players with Premier League experience.
I think that's the key. I think that's the big key. The 3 Southampton players have had a good season at Southampton. They come to a club with bigger expectations, and he'll be looking for these guys to settle in very quickly. But they need numbers for a big European campaign as well. You know, that's the other reason why he brought in so many bodies.
Because this could be a Champions League fixture later in the season, couldn't it? Two clubs did meet in the Champions League back in the 2001-2 season. Liverpool won the game here in the group stage 2-0. Kirsch has gone down injured here.
Yeah, Stevie just built a little bit high, just showing the studs. He's just adapted his game as the years have gone by. He can still dominate from just sitting in front of his 2 centre-backs, Steven Gerrard.
Well, I liked his quote. He gave a very honest interview to the press when he was announcing his international retirement, talking about Liverpool, and said, well, it has been a very disappointing time, but we go again.
Go again. And you just got to keep improving season on.
Bit of pressure there on Socrates Papastathopoulos. Now, I'll try not to say that too many times. The Greek international.
Socrates, as I'm sticking with that one.
Yeah, I think that's what Borussia Dortmund call him on their team sheet, so maybe we'll stick with that. Coutinho tried to flick it on towards Henderson. Now here's Mkhitaryan, who is an Armenian international. It's one of those players unlikely to feature in major championships, coming from a smaller country who find it hard to qualify. It's Ginter getting it away, the central defender, who did go to the World Cup but didn't get on. Very good, 20 years old. One for the future. Ramos looking to help it on towards Aubameyang. Ramos, another World Cup player for Colombia, who did very well, of course. He came on in their quarter-final against Brazil, Ramos. And it's Socrates getting it away.
Colombia and Chile, 2 most impressive for you during the summer?
Well, the South American sides were exciting, those 2. Of course, it was a horror story in the end for Brazil, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I enjoyed watching Colombia and Chile. They were the best for me.
Better than Argentina?
Yes, I've got to say that. Oh, yes.
Oh, look at this. Sturridge, through on goal. Lovely chance and put away. Sensationally well. Daniel Sturridge off and running at Anfield again.
Really is fantastic link play. And they love it. And so they should. Clever play. And it's Lovren, the little ball up. And this little nick round the corner is sublime. And Sturridge is onto the flash. And the finish is just first class. Takes it nice and early. That's a great little flick. Great little link up between the 2. He just takes it early there. Keeper can't get set. As you see, he just takes it beautifully here. No backlift, just prods it into the keeper's bottom right.
Wanted it on that left foot, but how well he finished it. 21 in the Premier League last season. Only his teammate Luis Suarez got more.
It's a big season for Daniel. Big responsibility. We know Suarez there. But he looked sharp there, he was onto it in a flash.
It would be a surprise if another striker wasn't brought in. I think Brendan Rodgers was understandably coy with me in the interview before the game about any progress on that front. Of course, they lined up Loic Remy, and then Liverpool announced that he failed on medical grounds.
No, I would think that's the area that you need. They just need a wee bit more strength in that centre forward position.
Here's Schmelzer. Kirsch's long ball. Piszczek arriving, the Polish right back who loves to get forward.
Piszczek coming from deep. Kirsch spots the run. It's a lovely little diagonal, just overhits it slightly. Van Johnson's just got to be wary of that. Piszczek loves to get forward.
Flicked on towards Coutinho, whose sublime touch in midfield set up that goal.
Great vision. Great understanding between the two. You know, that's come about after the last couple of seasons together.
It's funny, isn't it, Gary, that the fixture list threw up Liverpool v Southampton first game with such a big Southampton contingent here at Liverpool now. So Lovren, who actually got the winner for the Saints here last season,
makes his debut, league debut against his old club.
There he is now. Big fee, £20 million.
Big fee for a centre-back, yes. But we've seen a 27 million for a left-back. Another Southampton player who left. But as you were saying, they just conceded too many goals last season. Wonderful going forward. Okay, maybe left himself a little bit exposed. But he'll give them strength.
Sturridge, lovely weighted ball, not an easy one either for Raheem Sterling. Liverpool 1 up inside 10 minutes. Lovely goal from Daniel Sturridge.
And Brendan Rodgers has got to be delighted with the sharpness of that front three. You know, Sterling, Coutinho and Sturridge, they look ever so sharp at the moment.
Gerrard with the corner kick. And that'll be a second goal. Lovren up from the back and marks his first appearance in the Liverpool shirt at Anfield with a goal.
Oh, it's a lovely ball in by Steven Gerrard. And it's a nice debut goal for the centre-back who was involved in the build-up to the first goal. Just driven into his 6-yard box. Loses his marker. It's a powerful header. Liverpool line out 3 and 4 at the edge of the box. They just attack it. Dortmund don't, and they're punished. Simple-headed goal in the end.
Poor defensively from Borussia Dortmund, it has to be said. Lovren doesn't care. Seems to be making a habit of scoring around here.
He likes this Anfield pitch. First impressions are massive for anybody arriving at a football club. He's involved in the build-up to the first goal and he's got himself on the score sheet. And tick that box, good start for that signing.
Mignolet clipping it forward. Sterling to help it forward. Well, when Borussia Dortmund arrived here, Jurgen Klopp, the coach, walked out and almost looked awestruck by being at Anfield, knowing about all the tradition, but the hospitality stopped really once the first whistle went.
Yeah, they're given a warm welcome pre-game.
Jojic. Dortmund using Kirsch and Sebastian Kell, the captain in midfield. Kell in his final season, he will stop playing at the end of the season. He's made that announcement, the 34-year-old. Of course, the player they really miss in there and have done for a long time now is Ilkay Gundogan, who certainly would have been in Germany's squad and probably team at the World Cup, but he's had a back injury for a long time. Happily, he is on the way back now.
They'll be welcome back. Gundogan and and Royce, big players for club and country.
And of course they've got Blaszczykowski as well, who's nearly fit again, by the way. Came on for a couple of minutes in Poland the other night. He's been out a long time. Ramos muscled out a bit by Lovren, who's definitely been brought in with the idea of tightening up this defence significantly.
Yeah, he's comfortable in possession, but he's old-fashioned in his style. Likes to go and attack the ball, as we've seen there. Really tight to Ramos, allowing him not a chance to turn.
Gary, is it significant that Sacco has been the man left out today at the back? Is that a sign of the times about what the side might be in the Premier League?
I'm thinking this back four looks like the starting back four, certainly for next week. And going into Europe, I'd have to say that Lovren is more happy in possession of the football than Sacco. It just gives them numbers.
There he is on the bench, Mamadou Sakho.
You know, on occasions, Brendan likes to go to three centre-backs at times, so that can work.
Well, the squad's full of centre-backs, isn't it? If you look around it, there's an awful lot of competition in that area of the pitch. You've got Daniel Agger, whose future seems to be in doubt here, Kolo Toure, a few others as well. Now then, here's Mkhitaryan. Good determined run. Jojic looked to get it on towards Aubameyang.
Yeah, that was better from Dortmund.
Gerrard, and offside this time against Sturridge. Wasn't a lot in it.
He's disappointed. He didn't need to go as early as he did. Again on the counter-attack, Stevie Gerrard bursting from the middle of the park. As you can see, Daniel just goes a little bit early. Could have just held his run a little bit better there.
Ginter, lovely ball. Mkhitaryan. Just a little too much weight on it for Piszczek, but the attack very much still alive. Mkhitaryan missed the first time. They're claiming a handball there. Here's Jojic again. Dortmund just beginning to slip into their rhythm.
Yeah, a little bit more rhythm. Mkhitaryan starting to get touches. He's the one that can make things happen, just playing in that little hole.
Just a bit too much on that from Ginter to Marcel Schmelzer. Now, was it handball here? Mkhitaryan thought it was.
Yeah, Piszczek pulls it back to Mkhitaryan. Stephen doesn't know where the ball is. It can't be a handball, that. And then he recovers well with that little sliding tackle.
Yep, no way you could call that deliberate handball, even if you were wearing yellow and black here. Kish.
I don't think he's going to beat Mignolet from that distance.
Watching on, Ronald Koeman, the new man in charge at Southampton. A difficult start with so many players going away from St Mary's. He'll have to make do and mend, and he'll be here this time next week at the start of the Premier League.
Just one area in particular I think you'll be looking at, just the position of Coutinho, who's just played in behind Sturridge. He's been excellent in this opening 18-19 minutes. So difficult to pick up a player who plays just in that little hole. And he looks sharp.
He missed that game against Manchester United with a slight hamstring injury the other night, Daniel Sturridge. A lot of weight on his shoulders. Interesting to see who might be joining him. Of course, Ricky Lambert is around as well, but they could do with another striker, couldn't they?
One more top striker for me. I think Ricky will come here and he'll definitely do a job.
Socrates forward. Skirtle will just let that run. Both Liverpool fullbacks pushed very high, Manquillo and Glenn Johnson.
Yeah, this is a tactic they use. You know, when the two centre-halves split, and then that allows Steven Gerrard to go into this position. He goes in and splits the centre-backs. Glenn Johnson and Manquillo very high up, as you say.
Yeah, it's almost like a 3-5-2, isn't it, at times?
It slips into like three centre-backs. You know, that was the area, unfortunately, for Steven, where he slipped against Chelsea. But he's brave enough. He won't shy away from the ball.
Coutinho to Henderson. Now here is the new man Manquillo. Wasn't really clear, and Sterling can cause some more mischief. Coutinho. A hint of a chance for him, maybe more than a hint.
Yeah, he just snatches at it a little. And Sterling does well here. Manquillo just overhits the cross. Sterling just, how he gets out of this little corner, just digs it back to Coutinho, who just slashes at it a little.
Skirtle winning the header.
I'd just like to see Emre Can get a few more touches. Not really been involved.
Oh, wonderful quick feet from Coutinho. Brilliant, and what a ball too for Sterling. Blocked by Piszczek, otherwise that would have been some goal, but Coutinho there was going through his party tricks.
Wow, what a player, Coutinho. You can see Sterling was just trying to bend it into that far corner, but the magic here. The quick feet, clever skill, and the pass, the vision for the pass, and the weight of the pass, just delightful. Sterling just trying to bend it in that far post.
Gerrard with the latest corner. The one before produced a goal. That one didn't. Here's Gerrard again. Here's Coutinho. Not in Brazil's World Cup squad. If there was a good World Cup to miss for Brazil, maybe that was the one.
How he never get in the squad, I don't know. Certainly his performances all last season, I thought he warranted a place.
Well, they had Oscar, didn't they, as their main man as a playmaker, or he was scripted to be that beforehand anyway.
He always seems to get a bigger billing, Oscar, than Coutinho. I think Coutinho's catching him fast, if not even overtook him.
Here is Emre Can. Looking to scoop that into the path of Sturridge. Can, of course, knows Borussia Dortmund very well, having played for Bayer Leverkusen, had some Champions League experience as well for them last year. Lovren. Lovely ball that for Manquillo.
Steven Gerrard-esque. Beautiful crossfield pass.
Johnson again. Lovely football here from Liverpool. This time it's broken up by Ginter.
Ginter, the young German centre-back, read that well. As Glenn Johnson burst forward, just trying to play a little 1-2 with Jordan Henderson.
Just going back to the debate about Coutinho, of course, he'll have Adam Lallana, won't he? Threatening him for that role.
Well, Lallana's versatile in the fact that he can play right across, like Coutinho. I think that's the beauty of these players. Very versatile.
Yeah,
play different roles. Yeah,
within that three.
Yes,
behind the main striker,
or off a side, or just behind the striker.
Nice problem for Brendan Rodgers to have. Here's Ramos. He's not shown up too well so far. New signing this season, Adrian Ramos, who got 16 goals for Hertha Berlin in the Bundesliga last season, number 4 on the scoring charts.
Yep. Difficultly showing this performance so far. Like Lovren's played him really well.
Dortmund's second best so far. A rather sharper looking Liverpool to this point anyway. Let's have a look at the possession so far in the game. Now that reflects not only the possession, I think the scoreline too.
Yeah, on top, right throughout the pitch. I think they're winning all the battles in all areas, but it's that final third where they look really exciting. The German back four are struggling to cope with the movement and the cleverness of pass.
Kell won the header. Lovren looking to impress his new fans. I think it's fair to say he's done that so far.
Oh, you could nearly call that an assist for the first one, and it was a simple header for the goal, but it's always nice to score. It would have been nice if it was in the other end up, at the Kop end.
Schmalzer inside. Jojic deflected by Skirtle and goes behind for a corner. Ginter never got to him. Jojic flicks it on, but so far we haven't seen very much of danger men Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan for Borussia Dortmund.
They've struggled to impress, such as Liverpool's dominance. Ian, Dortmund just unable to get their ball players on the ball. Simply can't get the ball.
Be interesting to see whether Borussia Dortmund introduce Ciro Immobile. Later on, the Torino striker got 22 goals in Italy last season. Didn't get much of a look in at the World Cup for Italy, though he was there. Come to think of it, Italy didn't get much of a look in, neither did England.
Now but 15 goals for Torino.
Kirsch. Aubameyang.
That's good covering by Skirtle on the stretch. Kirsch just tried to find the run of Aubameyang.
Kirsch. Mkhitaryan wants it and gets it. Too long, really, for Piszczek, who has to play go fetch.
This is the thing that impresses me about Sterling. He's very strong on the challenge. Just shrugged Piszczek away so simply that he's a strong little guy.
Yeah, I saw Steven Gerrard quoted Gary last season saying about Sterling, nobody takes any liberties with him in training.
He is tough, I tell you, he's tough. We see him as this wing and dancing winger, but he's brave. He goes and accepts the ball in tight situations.
He's still only 19, by the way. Ginter forward here to Ramos. Now Mkhitaryan. Liverpool, good pressing, tigerish. Mkhitaryan's got it, and that's when he's dangerous, running at defences and causing problems. Piszczek, this time Gerrard is the player who cuts it out.
Sitting in beside his centre-backs, winning tackles, winning headers.
Kirsch, good little reverse pass. Jojic, now Aubameyang. Ramos is waiting in the middle, here's Mkhitaryan! Wouldn't quite come down for him for the volley he was looking for, and in the end it's only a goal kick, that's all Dortmund can make of it in the end.
Yeah, it's clever play. Nice little through pass there. Nice little dink up to the back post. Mkhitaryan, it's a good block by Mikio. That was better by Dortmund.
Well, don't forget, right after this game, we go to Wembley for the traditional curtain raise of the FA Community Shield as Arsenal face Manchester City. And the German Super Cup with Borussia Dortmund is on Wednesday from 4:45 against Bayern Munich. Always a massive game. Manchester United against Swansea is our opener from the Premier League. Next Saturday lunchtime, we're on the air from midday. First Premier League game for Louis van Gaal. All of it on BT Sport, available on your BT Sport app and on btsport.com. Sturridge. Oh, and it's too much on it for Coutinho. Rather wasted. Manquillo here comes from Atletico Madrid. He only made 7 appearances last season for them as they won the title in Spain. Was cover really for one Fran.
He's highly rated youngster. He's settled in seamlessly on that right back position. He looks comfortable there. He's joined in, got high up the pitch. He's had a few crosses in. Looks comfortable.
Formerly in the Real Madrid Youth Academy, but made the switch across town.
So many former Real Madrid players. The ones that don't make it there do get to good clubs. You know, loads feature in La Liga.
Well, I think he'd have enjoyed Atletico finishing above Real last season. Piszczek. Kell. And Oliver Kirch couldn't meet it. Here's Socrates. Second season with the club for the Greek defender. Now here's Manquillo. First sight of him really for the Liverpool fans. It was a bold run, but possession was lost. But Mkhitaryan, they know he's dangerous. The tracking back was very good by Liverpool. Schmelzer. And Schmelzer again, who was injured in the run-up to the World Cup, so not in the squad. His teammate Eric Durm, who's not involved today, was in the squad, didn't get to play in the end. Ramos inside towards Aubameyang. Jojic. It's going to be a free kick to Liverpool given by Martin Atkinson.
Yeah, this is what Stevie brings as well. It's that ability to go back in beside his centre backs to clean up a mess.
This fixture, by the way, a rematch of the 1966 European Cup Winners' Cup final at Hampden, when Borussia Dortmund won by 2-1 on target that day. Roger Hunt for Liverpool and Siggy Helt was among the Dortmund scorers. Those two were back in action against each other in the World Cup final that year. Sterling nearly fed it through for Glenn Johnson, who stayed upfield. Referee says play on here, even though Piszczek's got an injury. Sterling, very sportingly, says no, this is friendly. They're going to just knock that into touch.
He just took one up on the hip there. Looks in a bit of trouble. They go hip to hip, and again it's the little guy who comes out on top.
Well, the hip is a problem for this player because he missed the start of last season and missed a lot of the start of last season with a hip injury. So they'll hope that's just a bit of impact and nothing more than a bit of bruising.
He's looking a little bit better. Well, that'd be the last thing you'd want, a knock on his hip. It's just awkward. Well, he seems okay.
Jurgen Klopp's been quite quiet so far today. He can be pretty volatile and extremely wacky on occasions.
He pulls some wonderful faces on the sidelines. And he'll have a lot of laugh and a joke with the crowd as well.
I've got a feeling he'll turn up someday in the Premier League somewhere.
Absolutely. I think it suits his style. Very attack-minded.
Heavy metal, he described his style as at one point last season.
His press conferences are great. You never know what he's going to say.
It'd be fun to have around. Ramos to Jojic. See the idea. Piszczek again looking to get behind it. Look at how hard Liverpool are working when they don't have the ball here. Conscious of the need to concede less, I think, this season.
Yeah, and you can see Sterling doing the ugly things just as good as he shows up the pitch. Great tracking back, matching the run of the Dortmund fullback.
Sturridge's layoff only fell for Kell. Jojic. And the covering good by Liverpool, who are defending well against a side who often score plenty.
Yep. Just getting a foothold in the game, Dortmund. Starting to dominate the ball. Starting to get Jojic. Mkhitaryan on the ball.
I was just saying, Gary, I was just thinking, Liverpool, friendly or not, they'd love a clean sheet here, wouldn't they?
Yes, for sure. Just get some confidence into the little relationships. Yeah, there they go. Dortmund are dominating the football. But a clean sheet is good. Good for confidence. We'll get 2 new players in that back 4. And that's what defenders are judged on.
I'm sure Brendan Rodgers and his team, when they analysed the season, must have thought, well, if we hadn't let in 50, we might well have lifted the crown. Never quite that simple,
It's just getting that balance, isn't it? You know, if they'd been more defensive-minded, would they have played the free-flowing football they did? So it's just striking a balance.
Well, 50 was the worst in the top 5.
Yeah. That's not good enough. But over 100 goals scored,
which is sensational. And Manchester City too scored 1 more, in fact, than Liverpool in the Premier League last year. Both full value in the attacking sense, no question about that. Jojic has been much involved so far. He's found Aubameyang, now Mkhitaryan. Check again. Through the eye of the needle, that pass for Cal. Again, the Liverpool covering is very good.
I think Cal had a little bit of a nosebleed, getting himself in the box there.
Mkhitaryan helps it on, speculating that that might have produced something. Manquillo got it away. Ishak to Ramos. It's fallen nicely for him. It was an inviting looking volley, but Ramos made a real hash of it.
Well, it sat beautifully for him. You know, Ramos, it's played into his feet. He tries to nick a little ball around the corner and play a 1-2. Comes back lovely. And that's just a slash. He's got to be hitting the target there.
£11 million signing, Adrian Ramos of Colombia. Is Lovren, part of the Croatian defence at the World Cup. In fact, it was his, well, alleged foul that gave Brazil that controversial penalty in the first game.
I'm sorry, that was not a penalty.
No, of course not. I think the world knows that.
Well, very fortunate in that opening game, Brazil.
Schmalzer inside. Mkhitaryan again looking to pull the strings, and I think he might have asked a bit too much of Piszczek that time, as fast as the pole is.
Yeah, just trying to get him in behind Glenn Johnson, but again, Sterling tracking the run. Seems to just recovered from that hip, the knock in the hip.
Lovely ball again from Lovren. Coutinho, Henderson, this is gorgeous so far. Nearly for Sterling. One-touch football. I'm seeing a lot of Emre Can so far in that midfield, but everything seems to be working the way Liverpool want it.
Yeah, that was classic, Ian. Just the ball up from Lovren to start, and then up, back and through. Slick passing, but great movement as well.
Cal. Aubameyang. Disappointing ball from him. He did score 13 goals in the Bundesliga last year, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, but none in the last 18 matches.
Poor back end of the season.
Prolific in France as well before that. Plays for Gabon, the African country.
Just hasn't featured at all. Aubameyang, Glenn Johnson, too strong for him at the moment.
It's Mkhitaryan, who scored in nearly every pre-season friendly so far Dortmund have played.
Manquillo done well there, sliding the ball into touch. Mkhitaryan just starting to get touches. That's what he needs. He needs to be involved in all the build-up.
Schmelzer looking to dig out a cross. Mkhitaryan missed his kick. It was an air shot from the Armenian that time.
Schmelzer, one of 5 or 6 injuries for Germany during the World Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah,
they didn't make it.
They had a few.
I actually didn't fancy them at all. I don't know what you felt. It surprised me by winning. They were deserved winners.
I thought the defence might let them down at some point, but he didn't. Mkhitaryan from distance this time. Let's take a touch off a Liverpool player for a corner.
Just a little nick.
The Liverpool fans pretty quiet, but I think just studying the new signings and assessing what they're seeing with the Premier League a week away.
The game's settled a little bit, but it's been a blistering start to the game.
Oh, Sturridge, cleverly done. Got rid of 2 players. Coutinho just couldn't reach that one.
Oh, there was maybe a better option. Henderson just was a little bit longer.
Sterling inside to Johnson. They might not have Luis Suarez anymore, but Liverpool look to be plenty slick enough in attacking areas from what we're seeing here. You can draw too many conclusions from pre-season games, of course.
But they do look sharp. You've got to remember when Suarez was missing last season, these 3 guys showed up really well, but they've just got to repeat that. Step up to the mark and take on real responsibility. They've got the natural footballing ability.
Here's Mkhitaryan. Aubameyang. Cut out by Glenn Johnson, who seems equally happy at left back as right these days.
He does well to get the block, but again Mkhitaryan getting turned in that little hole, which then means Liverpool have got to defend as soon as he gets turned.
Jojic with the corner kick. Here's Henrik Mkhitaryan again. One towards Kel. Couldn't quite control it.
Yeah, get in.
Anderson with an inch perfect ball for Sturridge. Crowd like that. He was fouled, wasn't he? No question, dragged back by Socrates.
Cynical by Socrates here. Clever feet again by Sturridge. And he just takes him out.
Free kick, central, what's this? 25 yards?
Yeah, it's a good area for 2 or 3 of the lads here. Just if Jordan Henderson fancies it, Stevie G.
Can Liverpool put an extra gloss of paint on what's already been an impressive first half?
Yeah, they've been slick in the final third, Ian. I think the little combinations. Sterling, Coutinho, Sturridge.
It's Gerrard. Oh, and it took a very, very good save from Langerak to prevent the skipper scoring.
This is destined for the top corner. Maybe just didn't have quite enough pace. Oh, it's a good left-handed save by the keeper, Langerak. He got it up and down well, but just didn't quite have enough pace.
Coutinho, and again, Lovren was forward from the back and won the header. That is half-time. 2 goals for Liverpool, but equally impressive was the quality of their defensive work as well, because Borussia Dortmund had plenty of the ball. Lovely goal to start proceedings from Daniel Sturridge, and then Dejan Lovren with his first goal in a Liverpool shirt with a header from a Steven Gerrard corner, putting Liverpool very much in the box seat in what's been an entertaining friendly here at Anfield so far. Liverpool 2, Borussia Dortmund 0 at half-time.
Access towards Walton Lane should be by way of Walton Road and please park the exercise. Thank you.
The away support looking for a little bit of cheer here at Anfield. Borussia Dortmund are on the pitch, but in truth, in some senses, David, they didn't really show up as we thought they might in that first half. Still awaiting the return of Liverpool, of course. There are to be 3 changes at the break by Dortmund, perhaps to try to energise the front end of their side a little bit.
Indeed, as I say, typical Liverpool last season, where they started the games very quick with a lot of energy. Dortmund had a lot more possession towards the end, but as you see with Hoffman coming on, the likes of Immobile coming on as well. I mean, they're going to be looking to try and get more action in front of the goal and test out Mignolet, who really has had a very quiet game so far.
But they've certainly picked up Liverpool's Steven Gerrard in that role, the one he made his own last season, and they have looked the part here. Back to Gary McAllister and Ian Dark.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, JMO, for the half-time analysis. Don't forget, Arsenal against Manchester City to come on BT Sport. There's the 3 substitutes, including the interesting Ciro Immobile, who's going to be introduced here by Borussia Dortmund. Lucas is coming on to play in midfield. Emre Can comes off, so only lasts 45 minutes of his Anfield debut. Immobile, top scorer in Italy last season with Torino, given a big hug by Jurgen Klopp before he went out, almost as if it was a Champions League final.
Well, he needs this guy to replace those goals with Lewandowski going.
Yeah, I hope he can continue his Torino form in Germany. Just that one change so far from Liverpool. Just about unlimited substitutions are allowed, agreed between the 2 clubs. Nobody seemed to quite be sure what the rules were going to be about that when we arrived here this morning, including the referee.
Yeah, Martin says it's just up to the managers, but they hadn't clarified it up until maybe an hour before the game.
Look at the pace of Sterling there. Sturridge is waiting in the middle. Oh, and important by Ginter just to get a foot on that. Otherwise, it was 3-0, I think.
Well, last ditch by Ginter. But it's Sterling again. That power and pace, this time on the left-hand side, whips it in with his left. It's good defending in the end, but it's desperate.
Real turn of foot. And of course, Liverpool do also have the option this season of the man from Benfica, very impressive player, Lazar Markovic, who's not fit for this game. He's picked up an injury. We're not quite sure what that is at the moment, but maybe we'll find out a little bit later, but not available for today anyway, Markovic.
Well, another player who's got loads of skill and guile, classy footballer, fits right into this model, young, exciting.
Brendan Rodgers must be pretty happy with what he's seeing so far from Liverpool. Very polished, professional display from them. I think he sent them out to play this as if it is.
Yeah, they've definitely turned it up a notch.
Full-scale Premier League game.
I would say, looking at the both sides over that 45, Liverpool look fitter, quicker to lose balls. Well, the combination plays have been far superior by Liverpool.
They've been playing a higher grade of opposition pre-season, no doubt. This is one of the men who've been introduced, Hoffman. That's not a very good first ball from him for Piszczek, and Lovren is there to cut it out. Sven Bender on the ball here. Arsenal target, regularly linked with Arsenal without anything actually ever happening, it seems. Nice ball round the corner, wasn't it, from Mkhitaryan to Piszczek. Then Johnson charges down the cross.
Yeah, Mkhitaryan's got wonderful vision. Sees the pass always before he receives. He knows exactly where it's going.
Jojic towards Aubameyang. Dortmund will want a little bit more from him, but I think in fairness to Borussia Dortmund, they do have this biggish game coming up on Wednesday in Dortmund against Bayern Munich in the German Super Cup. A game you can catch with us live on BT Sport.
Yeah, it's a little distraction, that game. I think most of these guys will be wanting to play against Bayern.
That was a terrible ball from Ginter. Gave Sterling a chance here. Coutinho. 3-0. Liverpool make Dortmund pay for the error. Philippe Coutinho with the goal.
Oh, it's slacked by Dortmund. And the little Brazilians onto it in a flash. Great finish. Another comfortable possession here, and this is a real slack pass by Ginter. Sterling's onto it, just uses his pace, great vision, and the first, second touch are excellent, and the finish is up there, which you expect. It's a quality finish from a quality player, just moves it out his feet and gets it across the keeper. He really punished Dortmund there for slack play across the back.
Bad moment for the new signing from Freiburg, one of Germany's World Cup squad, Matthias Ginter, and there's another error there. Gives the ball straight to Coutinho, and here's Sturridge.
Well, it's really rattled the youngster. Ginter again, another unforced error.
To say Liverpool much the better side here so far, much the more effective side. Again, the crossfield pass too good for Piszczek. Sterling, look at him measure one for the far post.
Oh, it's glorious play by Liverpool. Trademark switch ball by Steven Gerrard. It was a good 60-70 yards. He just pings it there. Hardly any backlift. They go from defence to attack really quickly, Liverpool.
And that goal and the pressure has spurred the Liverpool support on the Kop into song.
And always the danger in these pre-season games that you've got to avoid the result becoming embarrassing.
Yeah, they don't want damage to accrue and a humiliating scoreline to get the better of them psychologically. Is Manquillo. Lovren.
Yeah, Manquillo just didn't panic there. Stayed in possession of the football well.
You'd expect, wouldn't you, if the deal, as we expect, for Alberto Moreno goes through, for Johnson to switch to right back probably next week. Henderson taking on Ginter again, who's having a difficult couple of minutes.
Yeah, the young German does a little bit better here. That's the big asset of Jordan, you know, making these lung-busting runs from midfield. He just tries to go around one way and collect the other. And the youngster Ginter does better.
Ricky Lambert desperately wants a goal. It's a fairy tale for him to even be at Liverpool, having been rejected by the club when he was just 15 years of age. Always supported them, scored in all 4 divisions, played for England at the World Cup. Now his boyhood heroes. Coutinho meanwhile to Sterling. He's giving Dortmund all the trouble they can.
But again, Liverpool pounds, good pressing, and they just spring into attack. That's 3 again. And just combined beautifully on the edge of the box. And he just tries to take it early there.
Long ball was aimed towards Immobile. Here he is. Mkhitaryan tries to do it all on his own, but to no avail. Interesting character who trained to be a lawyer at one stage, speaks 5 languages as well.
Yeah, clever player. Clever in the mind, clever in his feet. That's the question. If he was in this Liverpool squad, where would he play? Would he play ahead of Coutinho? I don't know.
think they'd find a role for him, probably, wouldn't they? Pretty much.
He's of that ilk, though,
now.
is that ilk of just playing in that little hole, getting half turned and sliding those little passes through.
Mkhitaryan. Oh, this time a free kick is given. Lucas is not too impressed with the decision.
I can understand why. My feeling is he gets the ball here. He gets a bit of it.
Did he get some of the man as well, though?
In the follow through, I'll give you that.
So they give those, don't they, now? In your heyday, they'd have just said great tackle.
Yeah, and get up.
Yep. Schmaltz is going to take this. And it's too long for Sven Bender.
It's a missed opportunity to get a decent service into the box. Grossly overhit.
Jurgen Klopp, very much a hero with the Dortmund fans. I must say I'm impressed with the number of German fans who've come here for a friendly
Pre-season
match
friendly, yeah.
on a Sunday.
Fantastic. They're proper fans, the Dortmund fans.
I had enough trouble getting here from London. This is Hoffman. Here's Immobile. Goes behind for a corner kick. Dortmund needing some kind of reason to believe in this fixture so far. They've been very much second best. They look a level below Liverpool in terms of sharpness and fitness, don't they?
Absolutely. You know, and the manager's looking for positives. You know, they've got this cup tie during the week.
Gerrard got the header away. Here's Immobile. Not even making himself busy. Hoffman tries to play it inside. Here's Immobile again.
Immobile just trying to inject a little bit of tempo to his team's passing.
Lucas Piszczek. He'll be glad when he's got Kuba Błaszczykowski playing in front of him on that right-hand side again. The two Polish internationals together. Big threat and have been for a few years.
Yeah, they combine really well. But again, it's a slack giveaway.
Sturridge. Now Glenn Johnson. Jordan Henderson again, a lovely ball from Coutinho. Cut back by Manquillo. Dortmund at full stretch to get it away.
That's just another little great phase of play. 1 and 2 touch.
Oh, beautiful from Henderson. Cut back by Manquillo, starting to enjoy himself. Gerrard White here, Glenn Johnson. And Piszczek was cracked by that one and certainly felt the full force of it.
Don't tell me he's been hit on the hip. Oh, they work it again. Great pass by Steven Gerrard. On his weaker left foot, it's a great strike. No, he takes it fully right on the head.
Right on the head, yeah. It was a knockout blow delivered by Glenn Johnson. That was travelling.
Yeah, it was travelling. Great strike on his weaker side. This is clever play in the corner here. Just a little dink outside of the boot. That's clever play. He whips it across. This is the pass from Gerrard. Good first touch. Wham, take that.
Turning it on a bit here, Liverpool. I wonder what Ronald Koeman, the manager of Southampton, who comes in next week, what's he thinking?
Well, Sammy Lee will be telling Liverpool are very good at Anfield. No, they've been slick, they've been impressive, Liverpool. I'd have to say they're ahead of Dortmund in all aspects. Fitness, sharpness.
Big season coming on is Kevin Grosskreutz, another of those Dortmund players who went to the World Cup and didn't get a kick. He was due to come on when Bastian Schweinsteiger got injured and was stripped off, ready to go. And Schweinsteiger said, "No way, I'm
just
carrying
kept
on."
going. He just kept going. Schweinsteiger was awesome.
Oh, in the
he
World
was
Cup
awesome.
Final. Yeah. Gerrard, crowd like that. Sterling. He's like an electric eel at times.
He gets out of little situations unbelievably well. He was outnumbered again there, Sterling. 2-on-1. And you can see the strength there. Look at that core. A bit of power.
He's holding his face for to just take some kind of blow there, didn't he? Gerrard. Langerak takes it out of the air. Fine. He's the understudy to the normal number 1 Roman Weidenfeller, who again is one of those who's late back for duty because of the World Cup. He barely had a shot to save, has he?
I don't think he's been asked to make any saves. It's been a cruise for Liverpool.
Ginter got it away. Here's Gerrard, reinvented as this deep-lying midfield player these days, almost joining the defence rather than the dynamic box-to-box goal scorer of old.
And obviously, you know, announces his international retirement. I can see him playing there for a couple of seasons yet here. And he can dictate and run the game from that deep-lying position. Such a wonderful range of passing.
He ended on 114 caps, 1 behind David Beckham. There's Manchester City in the bottom of your picture, arriving at Wembley for the Community Shield against Arsenal. Frank Lampard. Now that's strange, isn't it? Seeing him turning up with Manchester City for a game.
It's really, really strange to see him in a different kit.
Again, great football. Coutinho's been everywhere. Towards Sturridge, not quite. Sturridge has kept it in play, mind you.
Looked as if it had just gone.
Still might be something. There is something. Jordan Henderson and Liverpool have been on fire in this friendly.
Oh, again, it's off the back of some wonderful play again by Liverpool. He's got to be delighted. Well, it's just a cruise. But again, it's this little clever combination play. It's great to watch. Maybe just offside there. Just chases this lost ball. That looks out as well. So a couple of decisions going for Liverpool here. But great skill again. And then just the simple tact of flipping it into the empty net.
Well, I think there was a hint of offside in the build-up here with Coutinho.
Does this go as well? Oh, that looks as if it might have went over the line as well. But great skills here. And Jordan's just got to pass it in.
Well, pre-season friendlies can be deceptive, but I think Liverpool are showing here that there might well be life after Luis Suarez.
Well, they certainly look as if they're not missing them in any way, shape or form. The play in the final third of the pitch has been wonderful.
Coutinho's been sensational. That looks out of play. That does look out of play. I think you were right, Gary.
So fortunate in a couple of occasions, but they'll take those decisions.
4-0, Dortmund, Champions League finalists 15 months ago, runners-up in the Bundesliga last season, are being taken to the cleaners here a bit.
As I said earlier, it can just start getting a little bit embarrassing.
Jose Enrique came on amid all of that, by the way, to replace Glenn Johnson. Like-for-like switch, you're going to the left-back position. A lot of injury problems last season for Enrique. Hoffman.
Oh, no need. Just a little bit rash there from Lucas. Just got to stand up. Just goes right through the back. Hoffman. Oh.
Which gives Dortmund a free kick. Going to make another change here and bring on Ji Dong-won, who had a spell at Sunderland. No goals in 7 matches. Mkhitaryan being saved for Wednesday in the German Super Cup final. I think they've decided this one is beyond saving, but they'd like to save a little bit of face here, I think.
I think that's the objective now. They've got to try and keep a clean sheet this last 25 minutes.
So G is on, Mkhitaryan is off. Hoffman playing that one in. So Kratis couldn't get his header away. Schmalzer forward this time. Well taken down that by Jonas Hoffman.
And again, Dortmund in the corner, out physicaled. It's brushed aside there, Hoffman.
Sokratis. Jojic has been busier than most for Dortmund. Takes on Jose Enrique. Grosskreutz. Dortmund born and bred. Kevin Grosskreutz. 1 or 2 scrapes off the pitch, but that's another story. Well, this will hurt Dortmund's pride, and I don't think Jurgen Klopp, who it's a bit of a pilgrimage for him coming to Anfield, bringing his team to Anfield, 4-0, not what they were expecting. Sokratis helps it on, and Raheem Sterling it was who nodded it away.
I think especially just the manner of it as well, Ian. You know, they've been out-fought as well. They don't look as physically strong as Liverpool.
Here's Hoffman. How much of this Dortmund performance is down to the fact that they do have this big game against Bayern coming up?
It must be in their minds. It's taking their eye off the ball a bit today. And maybe something to do with it. You know, we're looking through the pre-season games. You know, Liverpool had some real blue-chip teams they played against, but the Dortmund didn't play many top clubs. This is their first real challenge. You still get a smile.
I think it's a smile through clenched teeth a little bit at the moment, though. Contract runs to 2018. He's been done a wonderful job at Borussia Dortmund. Gerrard finds a good ball. There's absolutely no doubt. I think one conclusion we can draw is Liverpool are fit and ready for the new season.
That's a great opportunity today. The new signings getting a feel of the Anfield turf.
But they will miss Suarez. He was involved in 42 of those 101 goals, either scoring or assisting.
Ian, I think I was up here maybe 6 or 8 times last season, and he is just breathtaking, Suarez.
Despite his idiocy at the World Cup, we should add, I think. Here's Coutinho. Norwich looking to flick it on. Coutinho, who's been simply brilliant on the day. Now, Sterling. Look at this.
This little fella's been outstanding as well.
Aubameyang has just never got into the game at all. That's Grosskreutz. Bit of frustration showing he goes through Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, just creeping in there. Good chasing back by Jordan.
Here's Sturridge. Oh, Gerrard let it run, and Skirtle was able to do something about it before G could take advantage. And Liverpool have bossed this game in a big way.
Oh, from start till now.
Here are some games coming up on BT Sport. Well, right after this, the Community Shield, Arsenal against Manchester City. It's live from Wembley, so do stay tuned a little bit later on. Big day on BT Sport. On Wednesday, we'll have Borussia Dortmund in action in that game we've been talking about, German Super Cup against Bayern Munich. 4:45 on Wednesday for you. Next Saturday, our Premier League coverage starts with Manchester United, Louis van Gaal's first game in charge against Swansea. We're on the air from midday with that one. It's all available on the BT Sport app as well and on btsport.com.
I think the only thing for Liverpool now going into the final 20 minutes is they can't get complacent. They can't get bored with the situation. They've just got to try and keep passing and moving the ball quickly.
Now the Dortmund fans have decided that they'll go into some celebrations anyway. Just enjoy the trip, and almost like a tourist trip to Anfield for them. Inside towards Sturridge. Booming header from Dejan Lovren. He's announced his arrival with a goal. Sturridge inside was waiting for that. He couldn't go for it. He was in an offside position.
Yeah.
Schmelzer.
Schmelzer just forced into a loose pass. His shoulders are slumped, Dortmund.
This game going on now in rather pleasant summer conditions. I'm not quite sure what happened to the tail end of Hurricane Bertha. Maybe it's...
It did not arrive here in Liverpool.
It didn't arrive in Liverpool anyway. It's, apologies if it's bad weather where you are. But it's nice here.
Yeah, conditions are perfect.
Lucas. Away by Socrates, who did appear at the World Cup for Greece. So a change, another change here for Borussia Dortmund. They're going to take off the ineffective Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And on comes the defender Bandowski. Made 3 appearances last season in the reserve team, which plays in a lower league. So all change really for Dortmund. We're in that rather unsatisfactory period of pre-season friendlies where there are mass substitutions and you almost have a completely different cast list in front of you.
Yeah, the game just starts to drift away, really. That's the challenge for Liverpool. They just got to keep the tempo going. And get a couple more goals in at that top end. I think Brendan will be delighted to take loads of positives from this 70 minutes that have been played.
Well, he said they learnt plenty on that American tour. Went to some lovely cities. I know he's got relatives over in America, Brendan Rodgers. And coming off and getting a standing ovation, and rightly so, is Philippe Coutinho, who's put in a sumptuous performance here, including a goal.
Some of the little touches and vision, second to none.
And they're desperate to keep him on board as well. On comes young Jordan Ibe, who was in Wycombe Wanderers' first team when he was 15 years old.
Bit of power and pace, Ibe. Something a little bit different from Coutinho. More direct.
Here's Sturridge. I was hoping that might be fed to him. Instead it went to Jose Enrico. Here's Ibe's first involvement. His progress still carefully monitored by all those youngsters who were around him at Wycombe Wanderers and grew up with him. Henderson, no flag. Socrates with the clearance. worried would Jurgen Klopp be, I wonder, about Dortmund's display here?
I'd be worried. You know, when you see your side performing like this, you'll be asking himself questions. Has their preparation been right? Here's the lie. Here's the one.
Ricky Lambert.
Could be a nice roar for this guy.
He was living the dream, really, coming to Liverpool. Immobile engineered a chance for him, yet he's working very, very hard to try to make things happen. G. There's Ciro Immobile again. Goes to Sven Bender. Him and his brother Lars, both German internationals. Immobile once more. Took a deflection off Lovren and nearly went for an own goal.
At least Immobile is just showing a wee bit of intensity, a bit of fight. Takes a wicked deflection.
He's got big boots to fill, though, hasn't he, Immobile, with Lewandowski gone.
Lewandowski he'll be massive success for me.
Here comes the Borussia Dortmund corner kick. Lovren helps to get it away. Hasn't gone very far, mind you. Gerrard here. Now it is. So here comes the little moment that Ricky Lambert's been waiting for. Of course, he has appeared in a Liverpool shirt pre-season, but this is the first one they've had at Anfield. Sturridge getting a very warm ovation too, scorer of the first goal. Beautifully taken. Another big role for him this season.
Yeah, different option, Lambert. What a great story, this guy. It's one of those magical football stories he's got to embrace and enjoy every second of playing here at Anfield.
Well, he's shown that he can be a force in the Premier League. 15 in his first season in it for Southampton, 13 last season.
Yeah, and a big assister as well. Links the team really well. Clever vision. People who go and join him and make little runs off him. You can spot a pass.
So another change coming up here. Jojic to be replaced by Amini. Mohamed Amini, a 21-year-old Australian midfield player playing in the third tier not so long ago. Sydney-born.
Interesting hairstyle.
Well, there's a touch of the Marouane Fellaini's about it, isn't there? Maybe a junior version.
Just a junior version, half cut.
We're not here to talk about hairstyles, otherwise we'd have had Vidal Sassoon or somebody.
No, you and I cannot talk about hairstyles.
Definitely not. Here is Amini. Lewandowski played it inside. G. Almost a completely different Borussia Dortmund side than the one
that started
played
again,
in the first half.
Yeah, it's all changed nearly.
I think the two central defenders and the goalkeeper haven't changed, but just about everybody else.
Smeltzer here at left back.
Oh yeah.
But the new additions haven't really brought any urgency or anything different.
Now they've barely produced a chance, maybe this time for Hoffman. Paul, they've never really let up or never eased their grip.
No, they've been classy. And they've done everything the right way. Still moving it nice and quick. Even though the tempo and the pace of the game has dipped.
Whether they can translate this sort of form into the Premier League? We will find out. Last season, they conceded 3 goals against Everton, Hull, Stoke, Swansea, Cardiff and Crystal Palace.
You know, when you break it down and see that, you can't win the league if you lose goals like that against those type of opposition.
One for Ricky Lambert to chase now, just ahead of him. The Kop would love it, I think, if Ricky Lambert could get one to cap this.
So would Ricky Lambert, I tell you.
Yeah. I'm guessing as a striker that first goal for a new club is a big one, isn't it, always?
And it would be special if he gets it in that end as well, you know, at the Kop end.
Where he would have once stood, I'm sure. Well, Liverpool, we know, in very good shape as they go into the new season. Martin Kelly, the full-back, has had a lot of injury problems in his time. Has to come on, and a big round of applause for the new full-back, Javier Manquillo.
I don't think he put a foot wrong, Manquillo. He was immaculate in his performance. Nice game to play in.
And Brendan Rodgers has been chatting away to him in Spanish, I'm told. Impressive.
Irish, Spanish.
Ooh, helped on there by G, and then Kelly. First involvement is to get that out of harm's way. Nystock helped it forward. Amini wide. Now Bandowski. Immobile. Looked pretty lively since he came on, but not a lot of support.
Oh, yeah, at least he's injected a little bit of pace.
Sterling, another impressive game for him, but Sven Bender very, very strong. Plenty of injury problems for Bender over the last year or so, which meant he wasn't in German contention for the World Cup. Ginter. Bandowski. Well, it's a good hit. Blocked on the way through. One bit of team news we can give you, by the way, for the upcoming Community Shield, Arsenal and Manchester City, is that Joe Hart is not in goal, as speculated upon for Manchester City. Willy Caballero, the recent signing from Manuel Pellegrini's old club, Malaga, getting the nod today.
He's a favourite of Pellegrini's. Is there anything in that? Joe Hart, still the number one.
See next weekend, I guess. Keeps it interesting, doesn't it?
Serious competition.
Alexis Sanchez is in the Arsenal team, in case Gunners fans were wondering. That's to come right after this from Wembley. Arsenal and Manchester City, all live on BT Sport for you today. Bandowski. Nystock. Piece of work, but Gerrard still there covering in front of the defence. They want that clean sheet. Dortmund haven't lost pre-season before this. Strong as an ox, isn't he, Bender?
Bender did well there. Showing a bit of power.
Skirtle to cut it out. course, one departure from Anfield in recent days. Pepe Reina, who was on loan at Napoli last season, came back, but he's going to be the number 2 at Bayern Munich to Manuel Neuer. And by the way, just at the bottom of the picture there, that is confirmation of the Arsenal team. Callum Chambers there, interestingly, in the starting lineup. And Yaya Sanogo got 4.
No Giroud.
And then the City team there as well going through. Nastasic in the start.
Both strong sides.
G. Now Amini. We've seen plenty of the ball, Borussia Dortmund, but they've hardly created a thing. Liverpool have been good not only with the ball but without it today.
They get a nice shape when they lose the ball.
That wasn't always the case last season.
No, they switched off quite a bit. That was on that little turnover of the ball. I thought they were a little bit slow to get into the defensive shape. You can see they've worked on it during the summer.
Nice stock. Lewandowski's cross is charged down. Young Nystock's made a good impression since he came on, working hard. Nico Nystock, a youngster coming through the system at Dortmund. It's one thing that doesn't happen in England. You don't tend to get big players moving between the big clubs. It's happening all the time in Germany with people like Götze and now Lewandowski moving from Dortmund to Bayern Munich.
Become a little bit of a feeder club for Bayern Munich.
Which is not good for the competition, is it, particularly?
No.
When you've got a 19-point gap.
It's just...
I mean, I think Bayern Munich had won it by March, hadn't they? And one of the Dortmund people was telling me downstairs beforehand, they've spent 80 million euros and Bayern Munich twice that. So he said, our chances of cutting the gap are maybe not as bright as you might think. We certainly need
19
to improve on what we've
points?
seen
Is it
here.
19 points? You know, in this performance today, but there's players missing. I'm sure they'll be up to speed in the week against Bayern Munich.
They'll need to be a whole lot better than what we saw here. Obviously, it's mostly reserve and youth players we're seeing out on the pitch at the moment, with 1 or 2 exceptions. Obviously, Immobile, you would think, would be first choice. And that is the final whistle. Satisfactory work in progress, more than that really, for Liverpool, who bossed that game right the way through. Borussia Dortmund, in truth, sloppy and disappointing. But Liverpool was slick in attack, were ahead inside 10 minutes and dominated from that point onwards, including a goal for Dejan Lovren in his first game in a Liverpool shirt. 4-0, it was emphatic.
I thought they were excellent. I thought the opposition were a bit disappointing. I think Jurgen Klopp will be disappointed with the showing. But you can't take anything away from Liverpool. I thought they were excellent right from the word go. But they passed it with a lovely tempo, the crispness. Oh, he's got to be delighted. Loads and loads of positives.
Coming up, Arsenal and Manchester City in just a moment for you. Next Saturday, we've got a new show for you. Darren Fletcher and Robbie Savage hosting Match Day Live. That's ahead of our coverage of the Premier League. And our first game is Manchester United against Swansea. How will Louis van Gaal do in his first Premier League game? Big question. Answers on BT Sport. 4-0 to Liverpool here then against Borussia Dortmund, with Wembley still ahead.